Hey everybody, it's your boy Corey Ryan Forster. This is a classic episode. Me and the boys couldn't get together this week, but this is a doozy. For those of you that have never heard this episode, it's one of our most talked about, one of the ones that I think about all the time that makes me laugh. This is the famous feathered dinosaur argument that we had. That is absolutely the most that we've ever heard Trae get worked up in our lives. I cut the old intro out because I didn't want to confuse anybody. So this is the coming out May 28th, 2025. So you're hearing me live. I just wanted to say go to CoreyRyanForster.com to get tickets to see me, DrewMorganComedy.com for tickets to see Drew, and TraeCrowder.com for tickets to see Trae. We're all everywhere in places that are fun. I'll be in Fort Worth, Texas soon. So like I said, CoreyRyanForster.com for those tickets. Also, if you want my bonus stuff, go to WeLoveCorey.com. I'm smack dab in the middle of a new thing I created called Public Domain Sleepy Time Theater, where I read you a story to help you go to sleep. And we're on chapter 12 of Mark Twain's The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. It's a lot of fun. You can get it all at WeLoveCorey.com. Other than that, listen to Putting On Airs, listen to Gravy Baby, listen to Weekly Skews. We appreciate you. Sorry we couldn't be together this week, but I think most of you will enjoy this classic episode, even if you have heard it. And for those of you that haven't heard it, boy, you're in for a treat. Back in the old days when we were drunk as shit on tour together in the same hotel room, getting noise complaints. All right, enjoy. Love you. Bye.
WellRED.
You lovely human who tries his best.
Okay, thank you for that. What'd you say?
Here we are.
Yeah, here
That's
we
what I
are.
said. We're here in San Jose. Go Sharks.
Go Sharks.
Oh, they don't hit.
Spanish for
go
Saint
Preds.
Jose.
Sharks is wild, dude. So, like, Sharks.
Hold up.
Do you know? No, you hold up.
You hold up.
Did you know that sharks are older than trees? Sharks have been around longer than trees. Is that not
true?
Yes. Yes, that's true.
It kind of don't.
That's a bit much.
What do you mean?
Sharks have gone too far.
They've jumped themselves.
I love that. Like literally, the first thing that sharks ever did was them going too far.
Yes.
Like they they exist.
Listen. Let me put something on the table
when
here.
you max out your level, you stop leveling up.
I know that.
And they stopped leveling up.
I know that.
A fucking
this is
billion
no
years ago or
disrespect to
whatever.
sharks. You can't hit no harder than a shark has over the
Right.
course of time.
Right.
But me learning right now that they're older than the trees has just pissed me off.
They hit harder than trees.
Bullshit.
Hey,
Evolutionarily
No.
speaking,
No.
they hit harder than trees.
No,
Can I eat
we
one
have
more?
to
Yes,
see,
they do.
We have to see what ends up going on with the trees to know the answer to that. Trees are just younger. That's
guess
like
that's
saying,
fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah,
never.
you're right.
But,
I ain't
I mean-
never seen a motherfucker make a cup out of shark. You know what I'm saying?
They probably do in Japan.
In China,
Yeah, that's true.
they
God
make
damn.
everything out of shark over there.
Hey man, can I get one more of them?
Sharks have pissed them off.
Can I eat another one of them little weed things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eat one of them weed gummies. That's why I went to get the motherfuckers.
Well, these like I've never had these before. Like these are neat. Like we stay eating like the kind of similar gummies, but like these are the cutest gummies on earth. They're like
Yeah.
so tiny and like
Yes.
they look
My
like
very, very white wife found those Pinterest ass gummies.
Thank you, Katie.
Remember that weed ad we saw today? With
Weed
that
dad?
Weed
You
dad.
saw a weed dad today?
Weed ad?
Oh, weed ad. Goat. Yeah, it was a goat.
It's some kind of goat brand weed, which I get it. Goats eat weed. But it had
If
hot
I'm not
girls,
mistaken,
too.
it was called Ignite,
It was?
which would imply that their marketing is effective.
Yes.
Because I remember that.
So, right. And I remember everything about the ad. But what to me was creepy was it was goats, which weed, goats. I get it. And then it was hot girls. And the subtext of that billboard to me was looking like she was about to fuck that goat.
Yeah, no, I saw that and I felt that too.
I understand feeling that, but personally, I think that's a byproduct of,
We think a woman's gonna fuck anything if she's in an ad.
yes, that, and also from their perspective, you know what we need? A hot bitch with some titties,
Right.
And, you know,
yeah.
and our mascot is a goat, so we'll have a goat and a hot chick and that'll hit.
I agree.
And that's the extent of it.
I
don't think
agree.
they went beyond that to
I
like.
completely agree. That was their plan when
Right.
they dreamed up the ad.
Right.
But somewhere among the photographer or the model, did you see how she was looking at that goat?
Yeah.
And that was on purpose.
But that's how she's been
Taught to look as a model. I
Yes.
know.
Right.
Yes.
Like you
that's
better
how
fuck
she's
this
been
goat.
taught to look at everything
Right.
as a model. They
Yeah.
make the fuck me eyes
Yes.
to everything.
But today, it was at or around a goat.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, anyway, the ocean's
California
wild. I
wild.
can't get over sharks, man.
Look, son, our papaws ain't wrong about everything.
I've been saying it. I've been saying it.
What do they write about in this context?
Just that California's,
Oh, sorry. I
People be
moved on
fucking
to-
goats in California.
yeah.
I don't know how many times I heard my papa say, like, don't you go out to California, everybody out there just fucking goats.
Yeah, that was,
You know what I mean?
Okay,
that was
so-
one of his number one
It
sayings.
was, like, all the time, yeah.
Just wake up. Hey, go
So-
give me some milk.
Oh, good, you wanna go out
and
there
don't
and
go
be-
to California.
Yeah.
They're fucking goats.
You want to be a goat fucker? Go out there to California, you funny man.
okay,
I've
real-
definitely heard that. Though.
real
Like, if
quick,
you want to be a goat fucker, go to
talking about papa's perceptions of California. Katie, my wife, has a
Papaw Perception.
she has a
Coming soon to Fox.
great grandfather.
That does sound like a soap opera. Papa's
A
Perceptions.
papa.
They're all
right?
full of shit.
And this dude, like, I respect this guy automatically because this dude literally fought the Nazis. He has
Right.
war medals from fighting the Nazis. He's a
Nazi fighter.
World War II hero, right?
Right.
So, but he also born and raised his whole life in Waynesboro, Tennessee, and we were there.
So he's just wanting to fight anybody.
So we were there over the
Nazis
holidays.
is just who showed up.
They
that
just were
day.
in the way. Yeah.
We were there over the
came-
holidays, and anytime the boys, we take the boys to go see grandma and stuff in Waynesboro, they always have to go to the old folks' home to see Papa Odell. That's his name.
Odell.
Odell.
Odell from Wayne County.
Papa Odell, yeah, and he's
You mean to tell me
He's 98
Odell from Wayne County has some interesting views on
98
things?
or 99 years old, and when we got there, like,
There ain't no difference.
he didn't recognize Katie or whatever, and so he can't hear shit, and because he can't hear shit, he can't talk to intimate his opinions on things. So people write him notes, and he responds to the written. So there's like a dry erase board. You can't talk to him. You have to write a note on the dry
Have you
erase board.
ever drawn a swastika on it and seen what he said?
So that's how you communicate with this guy. And again, I got all the respect in the world for him. We're there. We walked in, and he didn't recognize Katie or us at all.
Aw.
The man's 99 years old. He doesn't recognize a lot of people. That's fine. But because he didn't recognize us, Katie's sister got the whiteboard that you write shit on and wrote, this is Katie. You remember, or no, she was like, okay, I fucked it up. Before getting the whiteboard, because he didn't recognize Katie, they got this photo album out. And this guy, in his regular life, he was a carpenter, a woodworker. Mm-hmm. And Katie's sister pulled out this picture of her and her sister when they were like 10 years old, when they were little girls, standing in his workshop, with all his woodworking shit around them. But the only people in it are Katie and her sister. And so he didn't recognize Katie or us or whatever. And so her sister gets this picture and pulls it out and puts it in front of him to remind him. And she puts this picture in front of him of her and her sister when they're 10 years old in his woodworking shop. And she goes, "Oh, you don't remember Kate? Look at this." She puts it in front of him, and he goes, Them two little tables won me first prize at the woodworking. And I died. I was over in the corner just losing my shit.
You just found out
Dude,
Your step-papa is Ron Swanson.
Yeah, dude, like he didn't even acknowledge their
Papa-in-law.
existence in the picture.
Yeah.
Like they weren't even there. You know, like, them two tables won me first prize, and I just fell out.
That's so fucking
I
funny.
remember-
And Katie's sister wrote on the thing. She was like, "Okay, but who are the girls in the picture?" And then he was like, "Oh, that's Katie and Carrie."
Some
you know,
bitches
it's
in the
like-
way of my art.
right. Yeah, it fucking killed me, man.
That's fucking crazy.
I remembered that story halfway through.
Yeah.
And it's still
I knew I'd told
super
y'all.
hit for me. But before I remember the end, I was hoping that was going was like, so we wrote Trae on the board or California, and he just wrote gay or
No, that basically happens, but it's not gay. It's,
is it no?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
He called you crazy?
Me and Katie in California and anything related to that
It's crazy.
is crazy.
Yeah,
Yes,
the-
that's what he
The
says.
guy who can't remember
It's
anyone's
crazy.
face has called you
Right.
crazy.
Right.
Love it.
Right, but again, he fought the Nazis, so you know
Yeah. Let's give him one
it's
little
okay
pass.
for him to hate everyone else.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
What are we going to talk about? Animals?
animals.
That's what we had said.
We were gonna talk about animals.
I
yeah.
wanted to smoke weed and talk about animals, but we only could eat weed. Mine ain't kicked
Which
in
means
yet.
in 30 minutes, this
Yeah.
podcast is about to get lit as a motherfucker.
Yep. What is? You can just nominate one. I'll let you go first, Trey. What's the craziest animal? If somebody says your animal, you can say that was it. But this is my other nomination.
Okay, well, I was going to say, I feel like y'all are not going to be surprised by my answer, but for me, it's octopodes, octopuses, octopi.
It's octopi.
It's an octopus is,
And not cephalopods
in
in
my
general.
opinion, the craziest.
But isn't an
ass
octopus a cephalopod?
animal. It is.
It is,
yeah.
but so's a squid, and squids are nuts,
squid's
but not
wild.
quite as wild as octopus, according
sure.
to Trey. I think
For sure.
No, I'm not saying that.
squids got ink. They'll ride on you, dude.
You told me that earlier that they were of equal intelligence or whatever, and
I just found that out.
Right. Well, me too, when you told me that. So all I said was, oh, shit, really? So I'm not, I ain't hating on squids.
well,
I
they-
just didn't know that they were on the same level as octopi.
They think.
'cause-
I mean, how do you measure the intelligence
right.
of a sea creature? But they have similar sized brains, similar sized brain to body ratio, and similar central
'Cause
nervous system.
What I've always heard about octopi is that they're very smart, but their lifespan is 2 to 3 years.
Why?
And if they
Because
live,
they're smart enough to kill themselves.
yeah, right. I guess.
Yeah, this
But
don't help. Bye.
if octopi,
You know how easy it
if
is to choke
octopi
yourself?
live to be 40 or 50, like parrots and dumbass humans do, then who knows what they would be capable of? Is what I've always heard. So that's why they are on.
Well,
that
they ain't
level
capable
my
of
list.
shit. They can't even stay alive, dumb fucking octopus.
I mean, yeah, right.
Or do they
For
not
sure.
want to be alive?
For sure.
Well, that was the first respect I was putting on
I know.
their name.
I hear, and I'm kind of thinking that, like, like,
They're like, this is enough.
well, like,
A human at 100 who's just given up.
the statistics of people who killed themselves and people within the like higher echelon of IQ, a lot of times smart people kill themselves.
That's like kind of a myth though, because if you kill yourself, they just give you 10 points on the IQ tag. 'Cause
right,
you get there.
right. There's like he must have been smart. He's out.
We thought he was a 140. He's a 150.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
What's
I hear
your
you.
answer, Drew?
Well, something's going. Nat can't get in.
Nat's trying to get in here, but she can't get in. But no, fuck her. Let
It's
her try.
jellyfish. I'm back in the ocean. Jellyfish are infinite years old. They could live forever.
That's
some
what I
of
was
them.
gonna say. Like jellyfish have no brain and they never die. They're like a Republican senator.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
just like get the fuck out.
Right.
What are you doing? You ain't got no brain.
Uh-huh.
But like that's insane. They're literally immortal creatures. The jellyfish.
Yeah, they're biologically immortal. They don't.
How do
you
they
know
feel
what
about
else
gays?
is like? Lobsters are also biologically
Bullshit.
immortal. Yeah,
Shut the
they are.
fuck
That
up.
don't make no sense.
They're
Because
biologically
they have a
immortal.
digestive system, and the jellyfish
don't-
have a very different one.
Lobsters do not die of old age.
I'm changing
They die
mine to
from when
lobsters.
we decide that they hit.
Yeah,
Mo-
like
most
have we
of-
ever waited on one? No.
most of
I
them,
feel like
yes.
a motherfucker was studying lobster. He got to be 80 and was like, "Fuck it, I'm eating his ass."
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, they don't die of natural causes.
That's so funny. Like fucking eating a 90-year-old lobster.
I
That shit
can't
hits.
take it no more.
yeah.
Are you? You're blowing my mind.
No,
because the jellyfish thing is crazy, but they have such they're such
they ain't
simple.
Nothing. I mean, and
right? That's what I mean.
Lobsters ain't nothing either. I guess, but
they
jellyfish,
got eyes, brains,
jellyfish,
digestive system.
Jellyfish ain't.
You ever
nothing.
crack up a lobster?
They literally
and there's
aren't.
poop in there. If you have poop inside you, you shouldn't live forever.
Right, jellyfish is just goo. Like a lobster is at least a fucking like thing that has they got livers.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean they got stuff.
Maybe.
What's your answer, Joe?
It's
Man,
lobsters.
I'll be honest
apparently.
with you. I was gonna say jellyfish, but like for real, dog. Like the thing that like fucks me up the most is ants. Like ants are crazy. Ants are crazy to me. Like you seen these motherfuckers that like they go to an anthill and they like drop all the metal or the fucking and they like pull up the ant colony. Like the fact that these motherfuckers are doing they shit and like they communicate telepathically. That's the thing that like the scientists said like ants.
Hive mind.
Hive mind shit.
They have a hive mind.
So
they're all basically the same
right.
brain. Pretty much.
Right, which is why Ant-Man in Marvel worked. That shit's crazy. But like they are like they've got a queen bee or whatever the fuck it is of ants, a queen ant, and then these motherfuckers just like they all move within one brain to make this fucking society. And then when you fucking pour, is it concrete or what was it they pour into them the ant hills? Like they pour shit in there and then they pull the ant hills up and they pull it up aluminum. It's aluminum. They pour aluminum in there and they pull these ant colonies up and they've got like fucking little hideouts. They've got separate rooms. They've built all this shit. That shit. And
We're
also
just pouring molten aluminum down into ant holes.
Yeah.
We're so fucked up.
Oh, we don't hit, but like we found out about these ants and like they're creating colonies that we could never even conceive of. And like they got their own rooms and shit and like that. But like, yeah, they're all one.
Sometimes this kind of stuff straight up blows my mind, and it is mind blowing. And sometimes I'm like, we just want to be impressed. Like we're looking at
right.
Like, look,
I hear ya.
the ant's got a 2-bedroom apartment. I can't even afford that.
Yeah, it's
They're
like, look
geniuses.
at Rome hit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Rome did hit.
I agree with that, but the fact that they're little tiny bugs.
They are bugs
doing that shit,
and they also
That's
can
what makes
lift
it so
10
crazy.
times their own body weight. That's
Right.
something that, like, can you fucking imagine that? Like that's literally
All right.
us lifting a goddamn car.
But look, every head must bow, every tongue must profess.
Pig.
We are the baddest motherfuckers that's ever.
Without a doubt.
I know.
Like-
I think it's sharks. They'll outlive
for
us.
real.
Not
Yeah.
no. You ever seen a shark pull meat? Like every now and then, some motherfuckers get eat by sharks, but not as much as a motherfucker catches a shark.
Okay, but like, here's what I'm saying. This is true of other animals, but not all of them. We ain't going to make it, and we're going to kill ourselves. And like lions be doing
But,
that, like
okay,
they'll eat up their
okay,
food supply.
okay.
But like a lot of animals won't.
Okay, but we are also undeniably the pinnacle of evolution
Yeah.
on this planet,
Right.
of life on this planet after hundreds of millions of years.
Sharks ain't got no prints.
We are.
They ain't got no podcasts.
We are the pinnacle of that, and
That could go either way.
What's so fucking crazy about that is we destroy other life everywhere we go. You know what I mean? Like we're like a virus.
Yeah. On Earth.
For the Earth,
Yes.
but at the same
This just became the Joe Rogan podcast.
but at the
right.
But at the same time, we're the only thing life on Earth has for chronicling itself,
Right.
Analyzing itself. Yeah, like we're the pinnacle and the fucking
Worst.
the worst. Yeah.
Do you think like
We
And
don't hit.
at the same time, that's fucking crazy, man.
It is, man.
Do you think that like amongst
I agree
sharks,
completely.
And yes, I'm high. Yes,
Yeah,
I am
he's high.
This is a high thought, but like
It's real.
It's wild, man.
Do you think like amongst sharks, there's sharks that are like that's the Christopher Nolan of sharks?
It's got to be the Great White.
You know, but like, well, that's a species.
Oh no,
though,
that's
like,
the Hammerhead. You said Christopher Nolan.
right. But I'm saying like, you know, I don't know what I'm saying, but like, there's, you know what I'm saying?
Nope. You mean
Like-
like there's some sharks
Well,
that live
ants-
in the same area?
is they a
and like
ant-
that one right there eats the most, and
Do
this
you
one
think-
farts a lot, and
I'm
they're
saying-
like, that one's weird, but
I'm
he's
s-
entertaining.
No, I'm saying, do you think there's an ant that hits for ants?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they're
Remember,
like,
you ever see the Woody Allen
yeah, ant.
cartoon?
It was fucking great. Ants.
Yeah.
But like, do you think that really exists? Where it's like this ant here,
No,
You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe.
No, it does, but it's their queen.
Well, that's why we hit harder because there's
queen ant.
Monkeys do that though. There's funny monkeys.
Oh, by the way, monkeys is wild too. If we want to get into that shit,
There's funny monkeys. There's like and apes and chimpanzees. There's like ones that are funny to the other ones.
Them
like there are
motherfuckers-
entertaining ones. Chimps got comedians.
What's them motherfuckers in Planet of the Apes? They got they flat ass face. Them monkeys. You know what I'm talking about?
I think those are chimpanzees.
Is that
orangutans?
No, orangutans.
Oh, yeah.
They got
That's wild.
they face looks like a fucking avocado dip station.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like that's crazy as
Looks
shit.
like a bowl.
And they all be hanging out.
They do. They get drunk. You ever seen that?
A lot of animals get
at the
drunk.
Amarillo tree.
They eat fermented fruit.
Fruits fall off
Yeah.
of trees and they
Ferment.
They ferment, and a lot of different animals eat
You ever
those
seen a drunk
fruits
giraffe?
to get drunk.
Have you ever seen a drunk giraffe? It's the
I
fun.
mean, no, but
Wait, for real? This is the
It's
thing?
a deer on stilts drunk. Yeah, they eat the Amarillo trees and they get hammered drunk. I'm gonna show y'all a video in a minute. I wanted to tell you something about lobsters. There's a theory on them.
okay.
They don't know how long they would last. Most of them do die when they shell molt, when they get a new shell, which is technically natural causes. But if they can survive that, like what you were saying is true. And the theory is the longevity may be due to I don't know if I'm saying this right. Telomerase, an enzyme that repairs repetitive sections of DNA sequences at the end of chromosomes, referred to as telomerase. That's the fountain of youth. Lobsters got it. Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah.
I mean, is that how you're it repairs DNA? That's your body healing itself.
That's why they shit tastes so fresh.
That's
you know
a
what I
good
mean?
point.
Like no matter how old they are, they taste fresh.
All this basically comes down to there's so much we don't understand about
Anything.
life, like what makes life life. But one thing we know for sure is that life at any level, like even like single cell bacterium stuff, like the one thing we know about life at every stage is that it
sucks.
wants to continue. Yes, yeah, but
Yeah.
that it wants to
Keep going.
keep going.
Yeah.
Like everything, life
Right.
at every level. The one thing they all have in common is that it keeps going.
Except
that
us.
No, I mean,
Is
you
there
know, but no though.
lemurs?
I mean,
Actually,
lemurs commit suicide.
I was going to ask if any animals committed
lemurs,
suicide.
lemurs like do mass suicides. Like they jump off fucking cliffs. Lemmings, whatever the fuck.
Is that why so many comedy groups are called the Lemmings?
That checks
Probably,
out?
yeah.
There's like wanting to
It's
jump
like,
off cliffs.
Funny, they jump off cliffs. You're right. Also,
fucking wild,
this is something that I had this class when I was in college. It was History 101 is what it was called, but like ironically, it wasn't. It was like this is what you should have learned. This is what you didn't learn. And this quirky ass professor.
Where was this? BC?
South Africa.
Okay.
And
Drew was in South Africa, guys. If nobody's known,
and I don't think I've ever said that on the podcast.
Bullshit.
it's been said
Okay.
about you.
But I lost my train of thought because Corey got jealous that I had a life before comedy.
Lemurs.
Oh,
Lemmings.
Lemmings.
no, it wasn't lemmings. It was the life thing. We read this one book. Anyway, the argument was basically that life is also the only thing in the universe that kind of breaks the laws of physics.
Right.
Most things, as time progresses, they get more simple.
Sure. Right.
Like the law of
Right.
entropy. This
Right.
system, this heat system, dissipates and throughout the universe, and then it just gets more simple until it's
Right.
completely stasis.
Yeah.
Life actually gets more complicated
Right.
over time.
Right.
And I think that's connected to,
Yeah.
Like
I
he
just
don't
got
have
really
to worry
high.
about like Cardi B existing.
well, I mean, arguably Cardi B is
Okay.
heat.
She is
existing.
he for sure.
Okay,
Grammy
so-
winner.
so-
What up?
So if you put those two things together,
Yes.
the two things we know about life are that it gets
Don't hit.
gets more complicated, and
Wants
also wants to continue.
Yes.
Like, what does that mean?
Do you want to know?
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
there's no like.
Do you want to know what I read?
Because if it just wants to continue, then it would just be bacteria for 8 billion years. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
it exists and it can.
But we want to
continue
hit harder.
Right.
It's like the futility
Right.
of existence.
Right.
The jellyfish have it figured out, but they're
Right.
definitely going to evolve into a fucking snake that can die.
The jellyfish?
Right.
Yeah,
So-
they can live forever.
I know, but
Okay,
like, have
Drew,
they
so
evolved in how long?
I said, if you think about that, what's it mean? And you said, do you want to know?
Yeah.
And yes, I do want to know.
What
so
I think
tell
was
me.
the rest of that. What you want to know? I want to know what I think because it's like I think it's like sort of cheesy because we're getting into like what I believe. So that's why I was like, do you really want to know what I think? Because I guess this is like the closest thing to a religion that I have. Here's what I think. Like, there's this idea that a lot of our culture has that like we're in the universe, and I'm not the first person to say this by any means. This isn't. I'm not going to blow anyone's mind because I'm high right now, but I don't think that. I think we are the universe. I think that is just life is an attempt to live forever. That we're trying to get more complicated so we can figure that out. And by we, I mean any
like
creature.
Bill Hicks said, we are the universe
Experiencing
itself.
And some part of quote unquote the universe, and it's like I'm applying consciousness to it. I'm not saying it's a decision the universe has made, but some part of its makeup is to reach a level where it's not just experiencing itself, it's fully conscious and lives forever.
Yeah, and so because all we have to go on is the evidence we have in front of ourselves, right? But like, so having said that, there are a lot of scientists and biologists and stuff who believe that that the way life has progressed on Earth is just the way that life is forced to progress. Like if the factors are in place for life to exist, then it will exist and operate basically the same way every time because it's just a set of rules.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I think so.
Like life just does what it does.
Right.
You know, regardless of anything else.
Ain't that true?
Like if it's there,
That's some Forrest Gump shit.
then it just does what it does.
So that gets me into something that this kind of conversation always goes to, which you and I have talked about before, which is like the Fermi paradox.
Yeah, dude, fucks me up.
If life
Hold on,
does-
what's the Fermi paradox?
So-
The Fermi paradox
Go
is
ahead.
that okay, so there are X number of planets around X number of stars in X number of
Galaxies, right.
And they're all basically infinite. So if you take that number of planets and stars and galaxies and considering that they're infinite, if only 0.0000001% of planets produce life, there still should be
way more than what's
billions
of life.
of life support, intelligent life supporting planets out there.
Right.
And the fact that we have no evidence for even a single one other than ourselves, that's the Fermi paradox.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
Right.
And there are all these theories about why that is.
Like there's an infinite number of people out there wanting to find us as we are wanting to find them.
The biggest one is that it's called the Great Filter, which is that life as we know it at some point hits this filter that keeps it from progressing beyond that. And some scientists think that wall is the beginning of life in the first place. Like
Right.
that life even beginning at all. That's the Great Filter. Other people think that life can spring up, but the Great Filter is the jump from single cell organisms to multi-cell organisms. Other people think that it's the jump from multi-cell organisms to intelligent life forms. And some other people think that it's beyond that. It's farther, that we haven't hit it yet, that we have yet to hit the Great Filter, but that it's in front of us, and there is some wall we are racing toward that will keep us from becoming a civilization that would, make its presence known in the rest of the universe. And then there are other people that think that maybe we're the first.
Right.
Like that,
Or we could just be running
we're
neck and neck.
that we are the originals. We're the ones.
We could also just be neck and neck.
right.
Like
And that's
while
the
planets
craziest thing
form
about
at
all of it.
different times.
It could all be
Right.
it could all be true. Like, we have no idea, you know? Like, all of that shit could be.
Yeah. Another theory is that it does happen. It's so spread out. There is lots of other intelligent life out there. It's just they're so unbelievably, unfathomably far away.
Right.
And that there is never a point that we can get to where we can move our bodies across that much space.
That we live in, or basically like the boonies of the universe. Like we're in a
boy, don't that check out?
We are in a galactic
space rednecks.
We're in a galactic backwater.
Yeah,
you know, and that's what. But and then there are other
Louisiana.
There are other people that are like
just that.
Yeah,
we haven't been reached out to people, or we haven't been reached out to by other civilizations and stuff, because for the same reason that we don't reach out to ant colonies,
right?
When we're paving a road over their
shit,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Why would we?
Yeah,
why would
we don't ask
why
them
would
when
we
pour
ask
fucking
why would we
molten
ask
lava
the
down?
ants how they feel about it?
Right, and that's probably
how,
what
and
God
that's how
is.
a lot of people feel.
And that, WellRED
you know,
listeners, is why we've come here today. Why aren't we asking the ants how they feel? I asked my aunt how she felt one
It
time.
would check
she said
out.
bloated.
It would check out for me a lot if Earth was like the Panama City of the universe.
It is
absolutely
it's the Milky Way, way too red to go there,
or just the Milky Way candy bar.
Yeah,
like any of that checks out to me.
Well, man, we're in it.
But it's true. Like, when
we've done this.
When
haven't we?
you sit and think about it, though, like I mean,
try not to.
The fact that that we haven't heard from anybody and haven't I mean, it's
I don't blame them.
It's wild. I mean, right.
But
it's still crazy, though.
It is crazy.
Like, it's crazy.
But like, I enjoy the thought of like, we're trying so hard to find other life, and there's other life trying so hard to find us.
Like, we're looking up at the same
and then
moon.
one day we're gonna meet in the middle, and it's gonna be fucking not what we thought it was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? That'll be a great war.
Well, you think about like the Star Trek universe, where
maybe.
like there's all these advanced
Might be
civilizations.
Yeah,
you know,
if we actually Panama City.
Because Corey, I know you're a Star Trek fan. You
Absolutely.
know, like in the Star Trek universe, they have the Prime Directive, where you like advanced civilizations take it upon themselves to not interact with less advanced civilizations because it'll fuck their whole shit up.
Yeah, it's why the Democrats lost in 2016.
Right, and that's like a rule that they have. But it's just,
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
It's hard to believe that that's what's happening here, though. Like, the idea that there's this whole universe of all these intelligent
it's
and
not
like
that hard to believe.
And
we're the dumb fucks.
Because also,
Right.
dude, let's think
And
of it this way.
I believe it.
dude,
How much?
we have
all right,
enough
hold on, but think of
ability
it this
to
way.
see things happening. Like, we would know.
But think of it this way: in the 1600s or whatever, fucking people come over on boats. You think about the manpower, the money, the effort it took to get across that ocean, and then you get there. The reason that we murdered all the goddamn Indians was for their resources to take their land and shit. But if you didn't need it, or like my point is, it actually isn't that crazy. If, for example, there is some civilization 10 billion light years away and they can get to us, and they have, and they got here and they're like, they're dumb as fucking rocks. And then they were like, do they have any, name an element that we barely have any of, and that's what they need for their society? And they go, no. I was like, well, fuck it, let's leave them alone.
Okay.
It's too fucking hard to
You
get
know what's
there.
crazy?
Okay, but like I said a minute ago, we don't ask an ant colony how they feel about us paving a highway over
But we
them. or
need
whatever.
that highway.
Right, but like we also don't go to any lengths whatsoever to conceal ourselves from those ants. Like,
And
like,
they
we-
left
like,
the pyramids
we
here
would be-
for us to know they was here, bro.
Right, okay, but that aside, you know what I'm
man,
saying.
speaking of
Like,
truth.
even if you're saying, it's like, oh, they have no real vested interest in
Right.
fucking with us. They also have no reason to conceal their existence
But if they
from
came
us.
10,000 years ago,
Because
and
what
to-
are we gonna do?
But if
you
they
know?
came 10,000 years ago, and to them that's not that long, there's no reason to come back in that 10,000 years.
You talking about ants?
No, aliens.
Okay, I about to say fuck.
There was
ants.
no reason for them to conceal themselves. Maybe they didn't, and we didn't have TV back then. They would have had to have been here in the last 600, 1,000 years.
Yeah, have you ever seen
for
Prince?
it to be written down is what I mean. You know what I mean? Not necessarily like people argue it was written down in hieroglyphics or whatever, and I think those people are probably
It's
reaching.
aliens. It's
But
aliens
my point
amongst
is
us.
simply that they may not have concealed themselves. Maybe they just ain't been here in long enough for it to be something that we have track of, that we kept track of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and for
Good,
the
because I
record-
forgot what I was saying halfway through.
For the record, because of the numbers in the Fermi paradox that we talked about earlier, just because of the sheer math of it, and
I
I'm
don't
number
like sheer
dumb,
math.
and I'm number dumb, but just because of knowing how big the universe is and how many planets, like, I 100% believe there are
Me too.
aliens and other
100%. And if you don't, you're a fucking idiot.
right, and I agree.
I'm about to get yelled at. You are a fucking idiot. If you don't think there's aliens, you're a goddamn
So
idiot.
mathematically, there has to be, but
Well,
like,
of
hold on.
course.
We already know. We found fucking
Prince.
No, we didn't.
Prince,
No, we didn't.
motherfucker.
We didn't find
Prince.
bacteria?
No. We've talked about this on the podcast
100%.
before. No, we haven't. Because I'm telling you, we've talked about this on the podcast and we looked it up afterwards. We have not, dude. If
Where did I get
if
bacteria
we
in
found
space?
if we found proof, 100% cold scientific proof of life outside of Earth, that would literally be the biggest scientific discovery and headline and everything
Ever.
in the history of mankind.
In the history of ever.
And that has not happened. Like, we have not found that.
It was
We
a
found
fossil.
evidence of
I
water
thought it was a
on
fossil.
Mars.
I thought
and
you just
whatever,
said
but-
possum. I thought you just said it's a possum.
We found a
There's
possum.
a Mars
It's
possum.
so funny you say that. I thought we found fossils of bacteria from Mars.
No.
Meteorite yields evidence of primitive life on early Mars. NASA.
NASA said that shit.
It's a fossil, which I know ain't.
With your choice of select sandwich, nugs, fries, and a drink, Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag is your go-to. Your nugget wingman. Your hot and crispy fry co-pilot.
Just like us. We're like the bag boys.
What?
Bag boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we bring your food?
For a deal you can count on, bet on Biggie and choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Bag boys.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes choice of double-stacked JBC or crispy chicken sandwich with 4-piece nuggets, junior fry, and small soft drink. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Organic molecules of maybe they're reaching. I'm reading it. I'm trying to read it briefly.
That's all
It's
NASA
literally
ever
a
does.
NASA paper, but it's that they found fossils that they believe are of molecules thought to be of Martian origin. That's a reach. I think they're reaching.
Yeah, we don't know. And, like, again, to me, it's the Fermi paradox thing. Like,
Who the fuck is this Fermi motherfucker? First
a really,
off?
really, really
didn't hit.
smart dude.
I mean, he
Right.
hit, but you could tell he sat around thinking about. You know what I mean? He was a
Right.
sad man.
Yeah, for
he
sure.
sat around thinking about shit back
Tesla
in the
was
day
sad
when,
as
like,
fuck.
Yeah.
Back in the day when, like, that was like a job you could have, was to sit around and think about shit. You know what I'm saying?
I think it
You can do
still
that now.
is,
We
yeah.
doing it. We doing it. We currently doing it.
Yeah, yes,
Uh-huh.
but, like,
This is the Cho paradox.
but
With
Yeah.
the lactose
but-
intolerant,
okay,
but
when-
cheese hits.
But when Fermi was doing
Yeah,
it,
it is.
But when Fermi was doing
But
it,
eating it don't hit.
dumb people,
No, it's a mariachi paradox.
dumb people that sat around thinking about shit.
Again, that's
Nobody
what we're
knew
doing right
nothing
now.
else. I know we have the ability to do that. When he was doing it, that wasn't a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Dumb people sat around thinking
didn't
about
have
shit,
podcasts
but
back
nobody.
in
They didn't have podcast. They didn't have nothing.
I don't believe that.
They sat around
Dude,
thinking
fuck
about
the
shit.
past. Can I say that? Fuck
Right.
the
You know
past.
how many times we've said that?
It's giving dumb people.
Can I go out on a limb here? Fuck the past.
Yeah.
The past sucks.
Well, this is another reason we're superior to sharks. They don't have podcasts.
Or past.
They don't.
They
have a
just-
past.
they don't.
They've
They've
always
just been the same.
Okay, so
They
on
don't.
the on
We
the
hit.
sub on
We
the
do
subject of life and how insane life is. Okay, here's the thing I read recently. If you stand up and you hold both your arms out straight out in a
He's in
crucifix
his wheelhouse. He's been
In
reading
a-
books and
He
stretching
has.
his arms out.
Look
in
at
a
him.
crucifixion pose.
Okay.
Okay, and the length from the tip of your left middle finger to your right middle finger. If the length of life on planet Earth
Huh?
life in any form.
Is this your arm stretched out, Kevin Garnett?
Anybody's, it doesn't matter.
But your hands are so long.
It doesn't matter. From your left fingertip to your right wrist, right? So 90% of the length is just bacteria. It's just single-celled life forms.
Sure.
And then beginning at your right wrist
It's 2 cells.
is multicellular life forms, right?
Yeah.
Okay? If you took a nail file, any Rite Aid brand nail file, and you ran it...
That's how white trash he is. He went straight to Rite Aid.
And you
motherfucker didn't say Walgreens. He says Rite Aid.
Any Gucci brand nail file, and you ran it one time over your right middle finger.
Then you can return it and get your money back.
If you ran that nail file one time over your right fingertip, you would erase all of written human history.
That's insane.
Your right hand is not just human history, it's multicellular. The dinosaurs, fucking everything, everything other than bacteria is just your right hand. And humankind is just the very tip of your right middle finger. That's
right. We're the dust.
By the way,
the nail file.
Fucking insane.
Dinosaurs is wild.
Dinosaurs is wild. They're super fucking wild.
Insanely wild.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Dinosaurs existed so much longer ago than...
And so much longer than.
Like, you think about, like...
Longer than us, right?
They were around for millions of years.
Right. Dinosaurs, any of the... Like, man hasn't even approached... existing from the time we walked out of the caves to now, we're not even 1/100th of a percent of existing as long as the T-Rex did.
I hear you.
What about how since they found out they was birds?
Yeah, they got feathers. The Tyrannosaurus Rex got feathers,
and they was probably like very multicolored, a lot of them, especially considering where they lived. Because, growing up for years, they was just old-ass lizards, and they was all gray or brown.
Gray.
They was wearing pastels and shit.
That's conservatives was writing the books.
That does hit.
Right, but it didn't hit. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
A T-Rex being pink and purple,
that hits supreme. Are you shitting me?
That don't hit for most people.
No, most people want to be gray.
Want the gigantic murder.
No.
Are you shitting me?
Yes, and I'll defend the fuck out of it. The people you're talking about, they like Mountain Dew. It's lime green and red. Fair. They like fucking NASCAR. Every car but one was bright. He was the best, to be clear. Talking about, my point is these people love bright colors. No, Monster Energy drink, Monster Trucks is bright green.
They like
bright shit hits for everybody. The literal Raptor, the literal Ford Raptor has neon on it. Neon signs.
I'm with Drew right here. Chrome, that was a fucking whole...
Chrome don't fucking count. We're talking about feathers. We're talking about pink and purple.
Actually, that's right.
And
feathers.
also lime green and blue ones. No, just the colors that the Wimberns wear. It's also blue and lime green feathers.
Then rednecks don't like that shit. That don't hit for them.
No.
Those colors absolutely hit for them.
What?
I don't think so. You know how many times I wore a pink shirt and everybody's like, you're wearing a pink shirt?
Not just pink. Y'all just keep saying pink over and over again. Their feathers were also blue and green, and those are the only two I have, but those are fucking colors.
You're literally describing Ric Flair, and this is kind of
checking
out.
Thank you. He's a goddamn dinosaur. That's all
Ric
he
Flair
was
is a dinosaur.
Velociraptor. He crowed around on stage.
Woo!
Yeah.
You don't know what he's saying.
Okay.
He had feathers.
You yourself have seen pictures of what people say now that a T-Rex looks like. Are you telling me that when you see these new pictures with these fucking multicolored feathers on it, you didn't think to yourself, well, that don't hit?
No.
I'm glad.
No, actually, they hit harder for me.
Yes.
Y'all are so
no,
full of shit.
What?
No.
It
does
so
hit
much
harder.
As birds.
Fuck.
They're fucking birds.
Then the gray ones, I agree.
Think about.
I'm with Drew on this.
Think about Jurassic Park.
If they had feathers, it hit way harder.
Way harder.
Dude, it would way harder. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, are you shitting me, dude? Remember when Sting dressed like...
100%.
Both Stings were gay.
The best thing was not... Hold up. We talking about Sting?
Everything's better gay.
Thing was black
Everything
and
is
white.
better gay.
No.
Music is better.
No.
Movies are better.
Hold on.
Clothes are
Everybody
better.
shut the fuck up right now. Everybody shut
Meth
the
is
fuck
better.
up.
Everything, once it's gay, it's better.
You're going to tell me right now that you think that Wolfpack Sting was better than fucking original 1993 green and pink Sting? You've lost your goddamn mind and my respect.
Or you're going to tell me that
That's
fucking
all fine.
rednecks don't like the Ultimate Warrior.
What the fuck
The
ever?
T-Rex of wrestlers.
Fuck all that. In Jurassic Park,
if they had wings and
feathers,
Feathers, baby.
yeah.
Oh my God!
Look, we get that you feel differently. You're literally screaming at us that we don't feel this way.
In Jurassic Park, in the scene in the fucking Jeeps when the T-Rex shows up with the fucking cups and the ripples of the water of him walking up, if that motherfucker had walked through that gate with pink, blue, and green feathers
hit
on it,
so hard.
y'all
hard,
are
dude.
fucking
Dude, it would have hit
stupid.
so hard. Are you kidding me?
That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
No.
You are
that,
full
dude,
of
you're full of
shit.
shit. That would have looked so fucking dumb.
No,
it would've rolled.
Feathers
If that
hit.
motherfucker walked through
Feathers hit.
It would've
pink,
rolled.
green, and blue.
would've
Mostly
hit
blue.
so much harder.
It would have been mostly blue.
Oh my God.
It would
would've
have hit
been
so much
mostly
harder.
blue.
Dumbest y'all have ever been.
You're
No.
so
ever.
full of shit.
It would have hit so...
My God.
It would have hit
Are
so
you
much harder.
serious?
Look at
Absolutely.
Look at Cassowary.
You're serious right now.
That hits way harder.
That hits way harder. If that was a
Than a
dinosaur,
fucking
well, not
Tyrannosaurus
that.
Rex.
Not
Dude,
that,
but
it's
here's
a
the
bird.
thing,
But if
we're
a
not-
Tyrannosaurus Rex,
we're
look
not-
like
Goddamn
that.
long-legged turkey, motherfucker.
We're not
that
taking
ain't
a-
shit.
We're not
That
taking
motherfucker
away.
ain't shit.
Listen to me. We're not taking
Yes,
away.
you are.
We're not
No.
taking away the
Yes, you
Tyrannosaurus Rex
are.
part. We're giving him feathers and fucking great colors.
He would have looked stupid. He
No,
would have
Trae,
looked stupid.
Trae, not would have. That's what he looked like.
That's
what-
fine. The fact
No,
that
would've
okay,
hit.
no. The fact
Did
that
hit.
that's what he looked like is one thing.
This
And
motherfucker
that-
looked like
and
a Jack Rooster. You think that don't hit? That does hit.
That does not.
It
hit.
does hit. It hits
That
so
does
hard.
Not,
It hits way harder.
If that scene would have ended with a gigantic rooster, fucking
Would've hit.
rooster walking
Let's
his
make
ass
this
out
movie.
there,
Well,
it would
first
have
off,
been dumb as fuck.
He ain't walking the
It
same
would
way.
not- dude.
But also-
fuck that
but he
shit.
wa- but he
y'all
was-
are. Oh,
He was a rooster. Look at how his arms
I
is.
know that. I'm talking about cinematically.
No.
Sitting here and acting like
You gonna
Trae,
cinematically break down a goddamn
Trey, will you
Spielberg
stop?
movie?
Will you
Y'all
stop
are-
screaming at us
that-
for 2 fucking
that
seconds?
it would have
Will you
played-
stop screaming? I'm not gonna stop interrupting. You've been doing it to me for 15 fucking minutes. Stop screaming for 2 fucking seconds. The notion is never actually, in fact, or in what we were arguing. We were just fucking with you. That
I
a
wasn't.
T-Rex-
That shit would hit way harder.
Sure, but the idea was never that he was a complete bird. Look at some of these fucking pictures of it.
They hit so much harder than that gray ass piece of shit.
Y'all are so
Look at
fucking.
his-
You're a
Stupid.
fucking idiot.
You're
Whatever, I'm not
so
gonna show
fucking
you.
stupid.
You're a
The point
goddamn
is,
moron.
He's not like
that was
he
a
doesn't
turning
look-
point in cinematic history.
No, it
when
wasn't.
Yes, the
The
fuck
Jurassic
it
Park?
was.
No, that's true.
When,
Now, wait.
when the fucking T-Rex
Now,
showed
he's
up
right.
in that movie, you're out of your fucking mind.
No, that's
And if
true.
he
Apparently,
would-
I've been
and
out
if
of it
he
for
would've-
20 minutes.
And if he would have showed up with fucking blue and pink feathers
been
on his
rad.
head, oh my god!
Lord, do you know how many shoes they could have sold?
Oh my
The
god!
T-shirts
Them,
would've sold
Nike
so
would have
much
had a
better.
fucking crossover with them motherfuckers.
Yeah,
They'd had the
T-Rex.
feathers. These Jordan 5s would have had the feathers coming out these
fucking
bits.
They would have had
Y'all
feathers
have
down
never
on them. I'm gonna
said.
get
By the
feathers
way,
on some
Trey,
shit.
hold up, hold up.
Dumbest shit
hold
y'all
up,
have
Trey.
ever
Hold up,
said.
Trey.
How
Hold up,
can it
Trey.
be the dumbest shit we've ever
Ridiculous.
said when you won't even let us say it?
Hold up, Trey.
You won't
Hold
even
up,
let us
Trey.
say it.
Hold up, Trey.
Whatever the redneck version of White Girl Drunk is.
We're not drunk, Nat, our manager. Trey, I'm on your team right now. That was
I'm
a
completely
huge
sober.
moment in cinematic history. That was that Steven Spielberg when the draft. What I'm saying is, if that fucking T-Rex had come out looking like Liberace finna play the candelabra, it would have hit way harder.
That's
you ever think about
so
a T-Rex playing a
stupid.
piano?
Hell yeah.
And his arms are too
That's
short,
Yeah.
so
and he can't reach
stupid.
the high notes or the
Yeah.
he uses his nose
so
and bang
Hell
it.
yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
You're
After
a
the
fuck.
build-up of that scene of the cup of water,
No
and
one
the
would've
ripples in
laughed
it,
if we
the
all knew what he
ripples in it,
looked
all
like.
that, and if it came out looking like Lizard Rachi,
Yeah.
that people would have
You ever
started laughing.
seen-
They would have been like, "This is fucking."
You ever
Wait,
seen?
wait, wait,
Oh,
wait.
really?
Fuck
Did they
up.
say that about Muhammad Ali when he came out wearing his robe, Trae? That motherfucker was flashy as shit.
Yeah.
He made a fucking
Yeah.
statement. That's how that
No one
goddamn
laughed at Ric
T-Rex
Flair.
would have done if that motherfucker had came out to battle goddamn Newman from Seinfeld. That's what it would have been.
Yeah,
You don't know
Newman
shit.
Wearing brown. Also, hold on.
Y'all,
In your mind, is
this
that
is
is that thing
ridiculous.
happening?
This is
But we grew
ridiculous.
up with gray.
We grew up with great.
Because hold on, I didn't think this what the conversation was. What I'm getting at is, like, once you know, like, I see what you're saying. If our whole lives we knew that the T-Rex was gray, or we thought we did, or brown, and then that popped up, everyone would giggle because it would be totally unexpected. But now that we know, and I would absolutely have laughed in that moment. You're completely right. But now that I know, and I process it, and I know that's what they look like, it is undeniable to me that feathers
Me too.
look fucking rad
Way
and make
better.
you, and I know
Way
I
better.
already know how vicious they are.
It's a fucking rad ass 100-foot chicken, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's rad. Motherfucker
rad.
laying
Even
eggs
just-
on your head.
dude. Even
Also,
just
they
saying,
think the Velociraptor could fly a little bit.
Yeah.
even
Imagine
just
like it flying up and then
even
pounding your
just
ass.
saying that, it's 100-foot chicken.
You're
which is-
so wrong,
that's
man. You're so
But
wrong.
hold on.
Are you fucking
wait,
kidding me?
No, you're so wrong.
100-foot chicken? You think most people are like, oh, 100-foot chickens? Goddamn,
Well,
that's
what
fucking
about a
cool.
100-foot
Yes, that's what
lizard?
dinosaurs were.
What about, hold on, what about a 100-foot lizard?
That is what
is
dinosaurs
cool about a
were.
100-foot lizard?
That is what dinosaurs
What is cool
were.
about a wait? Tell me, what is cool about a 100-foot lizard that would be any better than a
If
100-foot
it's a
chicken?
chicken,
Chickens are badass.
oh my god,
Especially roosters.
oh my god,
Lizards just lay there.
chickens do not hit. They hit to eat.
They hit so much harder than your fucking bullshit gray ass leathery fucking skinned dinosaur. You're a fucking moron right
Chickens hit harder than
A blue
alligators,
and
Komodo
pink-
dragons, crocodiles.
now. And they all
fucking-
had feathers too, motherfucker. We ain't
Also-
done talking about them.
Also, most of the lizards you naming is wild fucking colors, dog, and they hit because they're wild colors.
No, they're not.
Komodo's the
No,
only
they're
black
not.
one,
No,
and
they're
it's
not.
iridescent. If you
No,
get close
they're
to a
not.
Komodo,
No,
it's got
they're
oily
not.
colors.
No, they're not.
Unreal. You're
Alligators,
you're being
crocodiles, Komodo drag. They're all the same.
They're bright
not,
green.
They're not fucking rainbow. Are y'all out of your fucking
I don't
mind?
even, dude. I don't even know
Y'all-
you right now.
What the fuck are y'all talking about?
Pink alligators.
Dude, that would be so rad. Fuck
Oh
green.
my
Are you
God.
kidding me? That
Oh
gray
my
ass
God.
green bullshit, a fucking pink alligator. You're
This
a fucking
is
moron.
so stupid.
No, it's not.
Yes,
dude,
it
a fucking
is.
feathered ass. It's the same size as the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
If the hitness thing to be for a murder lizard was pink and blue, crocodiles would be pink and blue.
No,
but they're not.
no,
because
no,
that shit
no,
don't hit,
no.
motherfucker.
Bullshit. Because
That
they're
shit
dead.
don't hit.
They're dead.
Crocodiles
You can't tell
ain't
me
dead.
that. But the dinosaurs
All
are.
the pink and blue motherfuckers
Exactly.
are dead. All the pink and blue motherfuckers are dead. The ones that ain't dead are fucking green.
They're bright green. They're neon green.
Dude, we got. Dude, I can't believe we ain't had nobody from the hotel call up. How many times have me and you had the hotel call up from us just sitting there
It's
laughing
coming.
at a Coen Brothers?
It's
But,
coming,
but
dog.
those were like, they're partying next door. You guys need to come up here. It's disturbing me. We're about to get the cops called because
Hey.
Trae is beating his wife, according to whoever's
Hey,
next door.
can I tell y'all something that I told Nat like a little bit ago? Nat knew it the whole time and she called it. I fucking actually agree with Trae. Like, I don't think the feathers. Like, I'm totally on your team, but you was getting riled up and it hit for me so fucking hard. But dog, I'm way on your team. That gray lizard shit is way darker. It's Godzilla type. Fuck this fucking blue and pink bullshit. I ain't with it, but like that was fun as shit. I told her a long time ago. I said, by the way, I agree with Trae, but this is gonna be really fun for me. And my God, son, that was amazing. Y'all do that shit to me all the well, no, you don't. Y'all never agree with me.
Watching Corey go through like high school mock trial defend the opposite of what he believes.
I was, and dude, that was fucking rad. God, that was fucking funny.
I argue with my heart.
Well, guys, I mean, I don't know how you can get past that. So
I don't know how we're going to get past
It's
that.
been a good night on the WellRED podcast. We love you guys. We just started the 2019 tour. We were in San Jose. We were in San Francisco. Go to wellredcomedy.com, WellRED comedy.com, spelled just like the podcast. Find out where we're going to be. We love you, and thank you so much. This is our 3rd year of touring. It's unbelievable. We love you, and skew.
Thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We'd love to stick around longer. We got to leave the flow because the cops are coming because Trae just yelled at everybody for 15 straight minutes.
Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew.
Feathers hit.
But we're still fancy, putting on airs. We might not know much about history, we don't care. We gon' get drunk and we talk about yachts. We gon' get drunk and we gon' talk a lot. Dress real fancy, sit in our chairs, sip on our tea, putting on airs. We collected from our love of Downton Abbey. We collected, we found out we're both so fancy. Hey, what's the difference between rednecks and royal families? Only money, cause they both have sex with family. Ew. Putting on airs. What other rednecks to talk about foreign affairs? Laughing so hard that we end up falling out our chairs. Sir Trae, Sir Corey, oh what a pair. High class topics with a redneck flair, oh yeah. 2 rednecks but we're still fancy, putting on airs. We might not know much about history, we don't care. We gon' get drunk and we talk about yachts. We gon' get drunk and we gon' talk a lot. Dress real fancy, sit in our chairs, sip on our tea, putting on airs. 2 rednecks but we're still fancy, putting on airs. We might not know much about history, we don't care. We gon' get drunk and we talk about yachts. We gon' get drunk and we gon' talk a lot. Dress real fancy, sit in our chairs, sip on our tea, putting on airs. Okay, it's Team Squirrel or Team Trae. Oh yeah, we keeping it basic. He thinks that the squirrels at Corey's mom's house are racist. And you know squirrels live in the same place for generations. So Trae, you better count your days and you better count your blessings. Cause all the squirrels that you ran over, that you think are nameless, faceless, their families are getting together and plotting on you from the attic and basement. So even though Corey is dumb, fat, and bald, he knows how to avoid drama, don't get squirrels involved. 2 rednecks but we're still fancy, putting on airs. We might not know much about history, we don't care. We gon' get drunk and we talk about yachts. We gon' get drunk and we gon' talk a lot. Dress real fancy, sit in our chairs, sip on our tea, putting on airs. 2 rednecks but we're still fancy, putting on airs. We might not know much about history, we don't care. We gon' get drunk and we talk about yachts. We gon' get drunk and we gon' talk a lot. Dress real fancy, sit in our chairs, sip on our tea, putting on airs.